So let me ask you guys this. Are you imagining right now, like, is it in your brain, like, Tatum lifting the trophy? Like, is that where your
Yes.
confidence is at? Like, you're starting to imagine, like, this team, like, actually getting this done? Because that's where I'm trying to get to.
I haven't imagined it, but I mean, it's been like the driving thought from day one. That's why my preview, I had the Celtics winning over the Denver Nuggets in the finals. I've as much as they've fluctuated this year, I've never lost faith that they can win this championship because they at the beginning of the season they looked like the best team. Throughout the season, they look like the best team, and now that there's only 2 teams left, and I'm looking at who they're playing, they still look like the best team. So I haven't had to adjust that. I mean, the only thing that's a little bit interesting now, though, and you kind of touched on it there, is who's going to be that guy? Who's going to be the MVP? Is it Tatum? Is it Brown? Will it be Luka in a losing effort?
Boy.
Because that rarely ever. That's I think this only happened maybe
The Jerry
once.
West? You think the Jerry West is in play?
I mean, Luka's that damn good, though. I mean, he's really that good. I could see Luka having like a 45, 50-point game and they lose. Could totally see that.
How great would that be?
That'd be wild.
Yeah.
The Luka versus Luke matchup is going to be something, though.
I wasn't even thinking about that, Sherrod. The Celtics winning and Luka getting MVP.
I was thinking about. I think about Jaylen. Jaylen could pull it off again.
Yeah,
I was thinking about Jaylen pulling it off again. We'll have a lot of spot shadows on ESPN coverage of Jayson Tatum when that happens.
So let's talk.
It's going to be a full investigation.
What do they need?
Will you be happier for Luka or Brown?
Oh, stop, Jimmy. Trolling.
What do the Celtics need, Jimmy, in this series from Tatum?
Like numbers wise, or just what type of player do they need from
what
Tatum?
Type of player?
Bobby, what the hell are you asking me? That's what Jimmy just said to you.
No,
that's what he said.
No, I
Facts, my dog.
Well, like, listen, I'm not gonna say they need 30 points and 10 rebounds and 8 assists, but I just think they need a guy who's, that would be great. Let's do that. But I think a guy that's more balanced offensively. But the defense is goes without saying. Jayson Tatum has to play 2 ways. He's a great 2-way player when he wants to be. But I don't want to see Tatum settling for the jumpers. I want to see him aggressive. I want to see him post up more than he has been recently. I want to see him in his bag a little bit, going to the hoop. And if that means being more physical, if Dallas is a 2-headed monster, which they are, then do whatever you can to get physical with those 2 guys in some capacity. Get them in foul trouble. Knock them on their butts. You know, I don't want to see the step back fadeaways. I don't. I mean, sure, once in a while they're going to fall. But this is a great question. How much pressure is there on Jayson Tatum? I think there's a ton of pressure on Jayson Tatum.
Well, look, 2 things. One, the chat, you guys are killing me. Like, you know, I just get lame. I get murdered for not being positive enough. And we're like, I like the Celtics in this matchup and trying to give honest analysis for why. And everyone's like, shut up, guys.
The jinx is in.
Shut up, you losers. Number 2, I doubling down on what Jimmy said, because I think that's the key to all of it. I think it's been the key to Jayson Tatum from like day one. Is like at some point he has to kind of wake up one day and just be like, I don't need to cook. You know, like I saw somebody drop in the chat earlier, like, oh, hope a Tatum 50 pieces incoming. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see.
Because that means everyone else is standing around.
I don't want Tatum to feel like it's a him versus Luka and my legacy moment and try to like rise to the occasion, you know? Like I don't want to
think Tatum's like
don't
that.
do what? I'm
a little.
I think Luka's going to make him like that.
With
honestly,
Brown earlier,
bit.
Just wait. We joked about the stuff with Jaylen earlier. I don't think Jayson has anything against Brown winning MVP. I thought that was silly, but I do believe it's possible that he's like, that's supposed to be me, right? Like, I'm the guy, aren't I the guy? Why are you guys asking me if that guy's the guy? I'm the guy. Aren't I supposed to be? And like the feeling that like that's his job, you know, not out of ego per se, and kind of like, I'm that guy. I'm supposed to do that. It's me versus Luka. I want to be face of the league. I'm kind of.
That's why my question's like, who does he need to be? I think that's been like a constant question throughout these playoffs.
Prize Picks is America's #1 fantasy sports app with more than 5 million members. It is the most fun and exciting way to get in on the action while you watch your favorite sports and players. You just pick more or less on 2 or more player stats for a shot to win up 100 times your cash. With Prize Picks, you could turn $10 into $1,000 in a single game watching your favorite sports this summer. You can make a Prize Picks lineup in as little as 60 seconds. You just need to pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections, and you're locked in. Now, if you're looking for promotions, Prize Picks has got you covered every week, from lowering select player stats projections on Tuesdays, which increases your chance of getting a win, to getting your entry fees back if you have a losing lineup on Fridays. The finals mean more on Prize Picks, and so do the star players. You get boosted playoffs on selected basketball stars that you won't find anywhere else. Now, this week on Prize Picks, I'm looking at Jayson Tatum, more than 26.5 points. Jaylen Brown, more than 3 threes, which may be aggressive, but I'm running with that. Download that app today and use a code CLNS for a deposit match up to $100. Prize Picks. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy.
But you know what, John, you're saying all that, but real quick, I don't think he has the mental makeup doesn't match him saying that, just based on what I see from Tatum over the years. He's more reserved. The truth is he's way more a reserved guy than a guy that goes into takeover mode. Yeah, it'll happen from time to time, but I wish that I saw it more. I wish that I saw what you said more often out of him. I kind of want more aggressive, takeover mode Tatum. Not in the sense where it's just difficult step back jumpers, but you can go down. You can think about some of the great NBA players right now that have done it and take over. I'm not saying that these players are better than Tatum, but they have that little switch, like a Brunson. We've seen it with Luka, obviously. We've seen it with even Anthony Edwards this year on some moments. Like these guys have been able to do that, and obviously Edwards had a really horrible playoff stretch there. So, but I guess what I'm trying to say is I don't necessarily get that vibe from him. I almost get the vibe that he is willing to take a back seat sometimes too soon within a game.
See, I think Tatum has figured out more than I think he gets credit for what he has to do to win games. I mean, Tatum can score any and every time damn near he wants to out there. He's that good a player. He can give points every night. But let's put it this way, John. Anytime he steps on the floor, Tatum can get you 30. He gets you 30.
Yeah, but it depends on how many shots.
But he doesn't have to, unlike the other guys that
he's figured out that's not always going to win. That's why he's getting you 5, 6, 7 assists and getting you 12, 13 rebounds. He's figuring out how to do. The one thing he does that pisses me off, though, the one thing that he does is sometimes he is a little bit too deferential to his teammates, where he will just start passing, and you realize he's got 4 turnovers, he's got 7 assists, and he's got 5 points. When he could have had 10, 12 points, maybe 3 assists, and maybe 1 turnover. If he just his ability to recognize when to be aggressive as a scorer, when to be aggressive as a distributor, sometimes he seems to get his wires crossed.
It's the shot selection.
Yeah. But overall, though, I mean, I think other than his 3-point shooting, I think he's had a pretty good postseason run thus far.
But isn't it also the style of play and the fact that they are deep that it's hard for one guy to just separate himself from the rest of the pack? I mean, that's
kind of the point.
Built. Yeah. So
that's what great teams. That's what makes you a great team.
So, again, we talk about that takes the pressure off Tatum. But it's not gonna show up on the stat sheet, but kind of takes the pressure off him a little bit.
Well, I think there's a little bit of a disservice to the whole Tatum's the 1 and Brown's his number 2, and then these guys are complementary, because that changes that doesn't jive with what they've been doing all year, which is hey, it could be anybody who's the guy. You go back to 2008 again. You look year over year, KG, Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, all of their shot attempts and their usage the year before playing, when they were the only guy on their team doing that, was significant. Those guys dropped to 15, 16, 14 shots each that year. Were far more, where it's it really was. And Pierce was the default alpha from having been there, but it really felt like these were equal parts, all playing different roles, all doing different things. I don't think you need this world in which Jayson Tatum has to be your number 1 and defer to him and this and that. And as we saw that game against the game 1 against Indiana, when Jaylen Brown saves their ass, hey, Joe drew it up for Jaylen. That wasn't something that would have happened earlier in the year, in Joe's rookie year, for sure. So yeah, I think when you free your mind and you don't view Tatum as that number one guy, the problem is, and the difference with the series is, Luka is that super alpha who, when things are going bad, you put the ball in his hands, get out of the way, and he does literally everything. Tatum, though it's going to grieve people to hear this, isn't that guy. Like, he's different, there's not that many of them. Luka is one of them.
Game Time makes getting NBA Finals tickets even faster and easier. Prices on the Game Time app actually go down the closer it gets to the tip-off. Like right now, I was looking on the app, and it's really easy to use. Just download the app. Lots of pictures for us sports fans, lots of pictures. And, the tickets for Celtics game 1 and whoever they play, between $600-700. But the closer you get to actual tip time, it's going to go down. So you and your friends may do a last-minute thing. And I know it's a lot of money, but maybe it's 2-3 of your friends. Last-minute trip, boom, let's go. Let's see what the tickets are on Game Time. You never know. With killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee, Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying NBA tickets. Last-minute tickets, flash deals, zone deals. Okay, here's the deal. Last-minute deals save up to 60% off buying last minute for sports, concerts, comedy, theater, etc. Now, the flash dealers save even more with exclusive in-app deals on select seats ahead of the game or the event. Save even more when you choose a section for the zone deals. You choose a section, let Game Time choose the seats. Sounds pretty good to me. Take the guesswork out of buying NBA Finals tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed.
Hey, Bowie Manning here. If you made it this far, you probably enjoyed this video, so subscribe, turn on notifications, and check out our social media platforms at Celtics CLNS.